Hello and welcome back. We are doing some more Magic, as you can see here. Patreon day, or month, or week, or however you want to say it. Day? I guess day would work. I don't know why I'm rambling about this stuff. Anyways, so, our Patreon list this week is Turn 2 Infect, which is sent to us by CR Gaming Central, so thanks a lot for that. And, so, pretty self-explanatory by the name. It's a Infect deck that is red-green, and it relies on Assault Strobing and doing like a groundswell or something to just blow your opponent out, assuming they don't, produce a blocker immediately. Yeah. But there are Rancors for that sort of thing. One change that we made to this list that was different from the original, we don't have any Karplusan Forests. So instead I'm running Grove of the Burnwillows. I know that's a bit like, I think Karplusan Forest is like $1 and Grove is a lot more than $1, but that's what we had, and functionally in an Infect deck it's the exact same card, except you're not taking damage.
Yeah, you're not taking damage.
Yeah, your opponent's gaining a life, but who cares?
That doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. So, so that's what I'm playing. It was, Mr. Boopster riding a Blight Mamba. I was trying to look for cards that were very, anyone would recognize. Turns out the Infect deck, there's nothing really that stands out on its own that I could incorporate Mr. Boopster into, so you get Blight Mamba. And I'm playing against?
I have a turn 2 tokens list. Super fast aggro deck that poops out a bunch of goblin tokens and pumps them.
Pretty sweet. It gets to run Pact of the Titan, which is cool. So anyway, the reason that we're not putting this against another Patreon list like we normally do is this is a turn 2, it's advertised as a turn 2 kill deck, and I think that'd be kind of a waste of another Patreon deck to be like, planes go, and then lose.
Yeah.
So we found something that is perhaps faster, perhaps just as fast. I guess we'll have to see.
Turn 2 in their names.
Yeah, they both have turn 2 in their names. So, in that vein, to decide who goes first, we are gonna roll a 2-sided dice. You excited about that? Okay, heads or tails?
Heads.
That is the tails. I will be going first.
Got the polar bear.
And we will see you in game 1. Alright, game 1. Gonna show my hands. That's what I have going on. 2.
We've got those.
Whoop. Okay, so I'm gonna lead with a Forest and a Glistener Elf. Pass the turn.
Draw for turn. We're going to lead with an Ornithopter.
Yep.
And then a Mountain.
Yep.
And Ornithopter is going to birth a bunch of goblins.
Sounds good. I mean, it doesn't. It sucks for me, but...
Turgo.
Gonna untap and draw a card. So I'm definitely not going to be able to get the 2 this game, but what I can do is play Grove of the Burnwillows, and then we'll Assault Strobe, our Glistener Elf, and then we'll Rancor, our Glistener Elf. So this is a pretty terrible block for you, if you want to block it. You do gain a life from the Grove, yes. So 3-1 with Double Strike. It's not lethal, but I will attack you for 6.
Yeah, we'll take it.
6 Infect. Pass the turn. Now let's see if you actually kill me on turn 2. That would be very impressive. I also might hold a bit of a grudge. No blocks?
For 3.
Just 3?
Just 3.
Okay, 17.
Dragon Fodder.
Ah. Alright.
More gobbies.
I was pretty worried.
Enter go.
Untap. Draw a card. Okay. That's definitely don't need any more of those. Here is a Forest. And I'll beat you for 3.
Double block.
Giant Growth. +3/+3. So that only puts it up to a 6/4, but at least it doesn't die. Does that kill you?
That kills me.
Oh, yeah, it does. I didn't even get to play this Blight Mamba. Apparently I can't do math.
Should have gone out on my own terms.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
Assuming I could get a mana source, yeah. Next turn I would have had double bushwhackers.
Oh god. Yeah. That is some scary stuff. That turned out pretty good. Normally, like, since I already have the cards out here, I'll show you what you typically would do here. You play like a Grove, play Glistener Elf, whatever, right? Next turn, you Assault Strobe it, and then, assuming you hit like a land drop or something, you use Groundswell to give it +4/+4, which puts it up to 5. This gives a double strike, so that's 10 already. But it doesn't really. You kind of get your plans foiled if they have a turn 1 creature.
Or you get like Rancor or Mutagenic Growth.
Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to do it, but yeah. So that was game 1, and we'll see you in game 2. All right, game 2. Go ahead and show your hand.
We've got those.
Whoop. And for myself, we're going to see if this gets there. All right.
Memnite. Mountain.
Yep. 3/1/1s. This seems familiar to me for some reason.
Didn't work the first time. Let's see if it works the second time. Sure go.
But you also were on the draw last time, so there's that. Forest and an elf in a pass turn.
Untap. Draw for turn.
It's actually a pretty big deal.
Mountain 3.
I will take 3. 17. Assuming you don't have anything else. Sure.
And a Mog War Marshal.
You got it.
Turgo.
Untap. Draw. Okay. What do we do here? It's kind of a waste of mana. But I'm going to play a Forest. I'm going to play Burning Tree Emissary, adding a green and a red. And then we're going to use the red. Probably just to kill a goblin. It's not exciting.
Really not.
No. And I'll pass turn.
Untap. Upkeep.
Unfortunately, you were able to make 2 blockers, so it's not like I could remove a blocker with the lightning bolt.
Draw for turn. Mog War Marshal.
Oh, alright.
Enter go.
Well, at least I didn't take damage. Draw a card. Okay. Fascinating. Here's a mountain. Pass the turn.
Untap. Draw for turn. Nice. Ornithopter.
Yep.
Bertham.
Yep. Were you gonna Marshall?
Oh, sorry. He dies. 3 more goblins from the birth.
Good lord. That's a lot of birthing. I don't know how I feel about all those births that just took place.
And we will attack for 5.
I will block one of them and take 4. Going to 13.
Enter go.
Draw. I needed that to be a land, and that was literally the opposite of land. Now what?
What do you have that costs 4 mana?
It's not so much that.
Yeah, I guess it's adding enough things together to...
Yeah. Let's see. How dead am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty dead. I don't think I have one more turn, but I suppose it's possible. A boy can dream. What aren't I going to use? Attack for 1.
Block.
Giant growth. Go ahead. Yes, there's a reason I did that.
Untap. Draw for turn. Ornithopter.
Yep. Bertham?
Bushwhacker kick.
Okay, that's way worse.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17.
Yeah, I cannot survive that, so you got me. And I'm gonna show you what my plan was here. I had that in my hand.
Yeah.
3 of those.
Oh, that's why you picked the
Yeah,
land.
so I needed to draw a forest so that I could actually cast 2 of these and a blood and actually get somewhere. Even that wouldn't have done it, because that would only be, what, 8... That only would have been 9 direct
I had my
damage.
cool one of insult to injury, but I didn't
Yeah.
draw any of the mana ramp spells, so I couldn't utilize it.
But, yeah, I was basically in that position, just had to bank on you not having this. And I figured maybe you didn't, because you didn't do it last turn. But, I guess you're just saving it for some more guys. So, that was that game, and we'll see you in game 3. Alright, game 3. Show my hand. Not nearly as aggro as the last one was, but that sometimes happens. Go ahead.
We've got those.
Whoop. Okay, so I'm going to lead with the very exciting turn 1 forest. Pass turn.
Drop turn. We're going to lead with Ornithopter.
Yep.
Mountain.
Is he going to be booped into...
Enter
He's
go.
not going to be booped! Oh my god. Draw a card. Huh. That's okay, I guess. Forest. Anti-Blight Mamba. Pass turn.
Like Mamba. Like Mamba.
Another mountain.
Yep.
So we do that.
Do you actually have a turn 2?
And we could do that.
Be impressive.
And that.
And oppressive.
Yeah, kind of got to do the math for this.
Little Blight Mamba.
I don't think we can kill this turn, so we're just going to make a War Marshal.
Okay.
Enter go.
Alright, let's see if I can kill this turn. I doubt it through this much toughness. That's a lot of toughness to get through. Oh, especially when you draw that. Oh. Oh. Attack for 1.
Block.
Regenerate.
I mean, I don't really lose anything from it.
That's true.
'Cause when he dies, he gets a
true.
goblin. If I don't pay Echo, I get a goblin. So.
Yeah. Maybe I should have just left this back to block something instead of trying to go for something. I don't know. Maybe that would have been right. Of course, then what am I really doing? I don't have any other creatures. Pass turn.
Untap.
Maybe taking one thing
Rough
off the
turn.
table will be enough. I doubt it.
So we're going to Infernal Plunge our Ornithopter to make 3 red.
Sure. He's been plunged into oblivion.
Gonna use 2 of it
Much like a chunk of feces.
for 2 gobbies.
Yep. Still got 1 floater.
And we're gonna use that floating
Yep.
and this to battle him.
Ooh.
Get 4 red.
That's pretty sexual.
And we're gonna use 2 of that because we've cast another spell this turn.
Ah.
Surge Bushwhacker kicked.
Okay, that's scary.
And we're gonna use 1 of this to Infernal Plunge Bushwhacker.
Okay.
Go back up to 4.
This is a fascinating thing that you're doing.
And then we're gonna go down to 1 to insult and double L damage.
Okay, I'm really confused here. So
And
what
then
are these
we're
right
gonna
now?
Attack for 16.
How is... Okay,
So they're two ones. Yeah.
Can you go over
Sure.
what you did here?
Well, basically the mana.
Yeah,
Red
I get the
creatures you
mana.
control.
I get the mana,
So
but how are they...
Bushwhacker pumped them all by
Yes.
+1/+1, give them haste. And then I sacrificed him away for more mana.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
use that mana
To double it.
to double all damage this turn. So they'd attack for 8, doubled to 16.
Only 16. All right.
It's not quite enough.
I go to 4.
Enter go.
Untap. Draw. Okay. Doesn't really matter.
I just really wanted to cast Insult.
Yeah. Well, here's something insulting. I'll groundswell that +2/+2
Oh.
and attack you for 3 Infect.
Yeah, 3 Infect.
And I'll play a chump blocker Glistener Elf that I drew this turn. And I'll pass turn.
Untap.
Because honestly, I mean,
Draw for turn.
if you have nothing else, this will keep me alive. If you have
4.
anything else, I'm dead, even no matter what. So I'm obliged. And I'll take 3, go to 1.
And then we'll Dragon Fodder.
All right. Still in this. Still in this. Untap. Draw a card. Is that anything? Probably not. Okay, so I'm clearly, definitely dead. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a mountain, and we're going to Assault Strobe our Blight Mamba. All right?
Yeah.
And we're going to attack you for 1.
Turns out maybe we should have left that Groundswell.
No.
Oh, so...
Are you
nope.
going to take it?
I guess we can block one of it. Or all of it. Right, you don't have trample.
I don't have trample, so I'm like, if you let that through, I do win. Vine's kicked.
Vine's kicked.
Yeah. That's what I had. I had 2 wild defiances.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not gonna get the job done.
No.
Turns out. But yeah, so that is chump block. And I'll pass turn. Because I was dead anyway. Didn't really matter.
Yeah, unless you can manage a whole bunch of chump blockers, but
Yeah.
that doesn't seem likely. Draw for turn. Yes. Exile Simian Spirit Guide for mana.
Uh-huh.
Aftermath, injury, 2 damage to that, 2 damage to you.
Wow! That's fascinating. I mean, you gotta actually pay for it.
Yeah, sorry.
But, yeah. All right.
rest.
Well, that's a way to go. Okay, so, you took this one. In terms of the decks that are labeled turn 2 kills, I don't think any of them actually had a turn 2 kill. But that's
no,
okay.
a little difficult to have that
Yeah,
happen. It's
especially against each other. Which is kind of why I wanted to highlight a matchup like this. So,
against something like Tron or something that doesn't have turn 1 or 2 interaction.
Exactly.
Probably far more likely.
Okay, so
But yeah,
whether or not
goblins.
whether or not you want my advice on this deck, I'm gonna give a little bit anyway. One thing I would definitely do to improve this type of deck is not just assume that you're gonna get through immediately on turn 2 by having like cards like this. Like for instance, Giant Growth used to be pretty good. It's not very good anymore.
And Might of Old Corrosa would
Yeah.
give you a more likely chance.
Well, it's not only it's not only
like
that.
Plus Assault Syrup is another option to
Yeah.
kill on turn 2.
It's not only that, but Rancor is your only way to get past a blocker, basically.
Well, and Lightning.
Or blood. Which, like, yeah, I mean, yes, this is very much capable of killing on turn 2 if you have a pretty good hand, but the odds of your opponent doing literally nothing on their turn is pretty unlikely. So it's not quite usually going to be a turn 2 deck. Like, you definitely can do it. I don't know if I like these Defiances. They seem a little slow for wanting to go this quickly. Like, having to have that on 3. And I really don't like these. Because you don't really care about a 2/2 that doesn't infect. So that's stuff like, these are kind of minor things that I would change about this deck. But, I don't know. If you wanted my advice, there it is. If you don't, you can just ignore that. I don't care. But yes, thanks again to, there it is, CR Gaming Central being our patron and providing us with this deck. And if you want to submit a deck for us to play, you can do that in the thing. And we will see you next week. Mr. Boopster's doing the electric slide, I see. Right into oblivion.